Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We've got 17 MLB games. We've got two doubleheaders today. Most likely one game that will get rained out. But let's talk about this slate. We'll recap yesterday. Should have been a winning day. We got absolutely hosed by bullpens yesterday. So Yankees money line looking good. Got the lead up 2-1. Devin Williams comes in and looks like a junior varsity pitcher. Just absolutely gets rocked. That's 10 appearances, 10 earned runs for him. Not what you want out of your closer. So I think the Yankees are going to have to reevaluate Devin Williams. Luke Weaver would probably be the guy. Next one, Andrew Abbott over 5.5 Ks. Didn't expect rain, and it was coming down kind of weird. Abbott struggled with the breaking pitch, which is understandable in the rain. All kinds of weird things in that game. Fly balls being dropped, multiple fly balls being dropped, people slipping around. So Abbott ended up walking 5, struck out 4, but he had a lot of pitches that were kind of right on the corner that I thought were strikes that weren't called too. So a little bit of unluckiness with the weather there. Arizona and Atlanta over 8. We got that one. Mets minus 1.5. Frustrating game. That was extremely frustrating. A lot of LOBs in that one. And then we saw the Mets closer blow that game. So, frustrating night. Mets and Reds money line obviously didn't cash because the Mets lost. So pretty wild ending to that Mets game. It was a ball hit up the middle, went off the second baseman's glove. The center fielder came in, was practically almost in the infield when he threw the ball, yet somehow it bounced twice. It was a very weak-ass throw. Still a close play at the plate, but didn't get him. So that was just a wild game. That said, we got lucky to even tie it. Right fielder went for a ball and dove, which he shouldn't have done. Got by him, ended up being a bases-clearing triple. So crazy day, but I've got 5 best bets today. We're going to talk about these games. Not a great day weather-wise. It's really pukey kind of day all across baseball for the most part. But let's get into it. First game on the card, Blue Jays and the Yankees. I spent about a minute and a half on this game. It is very unlikely this game gets played. So, just an initial lean. I would look for the Yankees to bounce back. Am I willing to pay minus 198? No. Gausman's been pretty good at Yankee Stadium. He's 3-2 with a 3 ERA. That said, his last 2 games did not go well. He gave up 4 earned runs in 1.1 innings pitched. He gave up 5 earned runs in 4.2 innings pitched. Weather, terrible. Game's not going to be played, so only value would be taking Yankees run line, but I'm not putting anything on that game because it's not going to get played. All right, Orioles and the Tigers. Brandon Young going up against Casey Mize. We talked about this game a little bit yesterday. Another one that I said was most likely going to get rained out, so I didn't dump a ton of time into it. Should be played today, and we've got a doubleheader. So 54 degrees, mid-humidity, high pressure, so not great for carry, but we have a 14-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to center field. Now, the only angle here where you could take the Orioles, Brandon Young is a ground ball pitcher, and the little bit of sample size we saw, 46% of his outs were in the air. Casey Mize is a true fly ball pitcher. Almost 62% of his outs are via the fly ball. The only thing that scares me is this guy's curveball and changeups are pretty decent. I did watch his last start, but his fastball and cutter are extremely hittable. So this is a Tiger spot. It was a Tiger spot yesterday. Haven't changed my mind on that. So give me the Tigers money line. Minus 118 on FanDuel is going to be your best bet if you're not on Profit X. So I like the Tigers to take game 1. Next game, Red Sox and the Guardians. I really want to go under 8, but man, I just don't trust either of these pitchers. It's going to be a cold day. It's only going to be 46 degrees. We got high humidity, which is great for carry, but we've also got high pressure, which is bad for carry, and we've got a 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field / left center field. The home runs are going to be down like 29%, runs down 10%. It's just 2 pitchers I have zero faith in. It's a coin flip game. Tanner Houck has been terrible. He's given up a 3.06 average, almost an 8 ERA. So I trust Lively more. You're getting the Guardians at home. I'd say a fairly even pitching matchup, but lean Guardians, but no play for me in this one. My gut says Houck pitches pretty well and Lively throws pretty well, and we get an under here, but no official play. Angels and the Twins. We saw the Twins open up a can of whoop ass last night. Simeon Woods Richardson going up against UC Kikuchi. Kikuchi 0-3 on the year, giving up a 215 opponent average. SWR is 1-2, giving up a 316 average. So I don't love those splits. That said, his pitch mix isn't terrible against this team, but he's given up a 400 average to lefties, 250 to righties. So I would lean Angels in this one. Not going to play it. 61 degrees, mid humidity, high pressure, 6 mile an hour wind blowing in. I mean, every game it's like the wind's blowing in. Home runs are going to be way down. Runs are going to be down. We've got an over-under of 8. I would lean towards the over. So it's over or Angels in this one, but no play in that one. Next game is going to be Brew Crew. And the Cardinals, we've got Quinn Priester going up against Sonny Gray. This lineup for Milwaukee is okay against Gray. Like, they don't have amazing numbers, but 155 or whatever you can get, even 142 to take the Cardinals that's just too much. We're going to have a 9 mile an hour wind blowing in straight from center field, 63 degrees, mid humidity and high pressure. So terrible for carry again. Runs are going to be down about 14%. Home runs down about 29. Makes me just want to take the under 7.5. But if I had to pick a play in this one, I would want to avoid the bullpens. You do have a plus pitching matchup with Gray, so I would take the Cardinals first 5 minus half a run, but no official play in that game. All right, Reds and the Rockies. Like I said, wild night there last night. That weather was crazy. People were sliding all around. People were just like, couldn't even find the fly balls in the air. It's going to be 75 degrees, low humidity, low pressure, 9 mile an hour wind blowing out to right field. Home runs are going to be up 26%, runs up 24%. Hunter Green on the bump, needs a good bounce back start, got absolutely tore up in that Baltimore start. So the only bet I love in this one is Reds team total over 5.5. I want to back Hunter Green. However, when I look at his historical numbers in Coors Field, it's terrible. He's pitched 2 games there, 1 in 23 and 1 in 2022. Combined, he's got a little over 8 innings pitched, 15 hits, 10 earned runs. He's got a 10.8 ERA. So I don't know if I could back him. Makes me want to take the over 10.5. But that said, against this lineup, man, his pitch splits look amazing. And this Colorado team just sucks. So we've got Antonio Senzatella on the other side. Give me the Reds team total over 5.5 as an official play at minus 130 on BetMGM. So I love that play. Let's just take the Reds to score a bunch of runs. This over 10.5 still looks pretty juicy at Coors, but I don't know. Hunter Green's a wild card. They could shell him like the O's did. My gut says they probably don't. Reds run line is another one I don't mind either. You can get that at minus 130 on BetMGM too. All right, Phillies and the Cubs, the battle of no offense. That was really interesting first game there yesterday. They left 22 runners on base between the two teams, so it was pretty crazy. It could have got way out of hand. Tajon Walker threw almost 40 pitches in that first inning and didn't give up a run, which is pretty insane. He had bases loaded, worked out of a jam, walked a couple. Just a terrible start for him. I think that's just the norm, man. That's who he is. All right, so Jesus Luzardo going up against Ben Brown. Brown's been okay, 2-1, giving up a 278 opponent average, 4.57 ERA, going up against Jesus Luzardo, who's 2-0 with a 2.08 ERA. He's pitched really well. That said, Cubbies have been absolutely smashing lefties. Number 1 in baseball hitting lefties, 371 average over the last 2 weeks, a 213 WRC plus, which is insane. If you don't know, 100 is kind of like your average. So they are more than double the average, hitting 469 against lefties over the past week with a 268 WRC plus, strikeout rate of 13.5%. So they're number 1 in everything, literally everything against lefties. If we look at Luzardo, giving up a 233 average against lefties, 232 against righties. Ben Brown, 262 against lefties, 278 against righties. He does have a higher hard hit percentage, but again, like every other game, terrible weather, 48 degrees, high pressure. We got a 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left center. It's like a 25, 30-mile-an-hour wind in a normal game. It just has a dramatic wind effect. Home runs are going to be down 51%, runs down 30%. We get an over-under of 7. I just want to smash the under. Phillies just don't look comfortable in that park. I thought about the Nerfy, but it's minus 160, so that's a no. I would lean towards the under 7, but too many unknown variables there at Wrigley. It's just a wild place to play. Next one, Rangers. And the Giants gave the Rangers out as a good lean yesterday, and they got the job done, albeit a very low-scoring game. But Rangers and Giants today, Tyler Mahle going up against Robbie Ray. 11-mile-an-hour wind blowing out, so one of the rare games where we do see the wind blowing out. But we also had the wind blowing out yesterday. It's only going to be 52 degrees, high humidity, and mid-pressure. So home runs are going to be down quite a bit, like 24%. Runs are only going to be down 9. We get an over-under of 8. It feels heavy. It feels like a big 8. Tyler Mahle's been absolute lights out this year. He's 3-0, giving up an opponent average of 112, an ERA of 0.68. He's only given up a 0.049 average to lefties, a 167 average to righties, a very low hard hit percentage. Robbie Ray on the other side is also 3-0, giving up an opponent average of 225 and an ERA just a hair over 4. 273 average to lefties, 209 to righties. The issue with Robbie Ray is how many people is he going to walk? He is a guy that walks a lot of people. His pitching outs is over 5 innings again. Makes me want to just hammer that under pitching outs, but I don't know if I trust this Rangers offense. Struggled to put up runs yesterday. I mean, that said, the Giants got 0 yesterday, but Eovaldi looked fantastic. I think Mahle looks good. I would lean towards the under 8. I think that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't trust the Rangers offense in potentially a good matchup against Robbie Ray, although the pitch splits look terrible. On the other side for the Rangers, really, Mahle has a great pitch split except for his sinker, which Giants are hitting that really, really well. They're actually the best hitting sinker team in baseball, but I would just take the under and move on. But the wind blowing out makes me slightly nervous there. All right, let's talk about the Mets. The damn Mets. Ooh, they were frustrating yesterday. We got a 13-mile-an-hour wind, basically blowing from third base to first base. 73 degrees, mid-humidity, and low pressure. Great for carry. Home runs are going to be up just a tick, like 1%. Runs are going to be up 5%. We got Clay Holmes going up against Brad Lord. Holmes is 2-1 with an opponent average of 224 and an ERA of 3.16. Going up against Brad Lord, who is 0-2, giving up an opponent average of 308 and an ERA of 4.73. Now, my concern, very similar to yesterday with Senga. This Nationals team is very good at hitting the fastball. Is one of the things they do well. It's basically the only thing they do well offensively. And this is one where Holmes throws that about 52% of the time. Now, his other 2 pitches are going to be a slider and a changeup. Nationals are very weak against both of those. So you can look at the Nats team total over 3.5. I think there's some value there. But to me, it's still a Mets spot. Give me the Mets first 5 minus 0.5. I think Holmes versus Lord, it's a very uneven matchup. I think the Mets should be able to absolutely hit him all around the yard. And then give me the Mets first 5 minus 0.5. Now, not necessarily the smartest play because we are taking the bullpen out of play. But I do think we have just a significant advantage in that first 5. So that's the angle I'm going. I think Clay Holmes over 4.5 Ks is just a little light. So I do like that play as well as an official play. So we have 2 plays in that game. Hopefully they don't screw us. We're taking the bullpens out, so that's good. All right, let's see. What game do we got next? White Sox and the Athletics. Jeffrey Springs going up against... I got to find the game. Hold on. All right, going up against Jonathan Cannon. Cannon 0-3 on the year. Springs 3-2. Cannon's got a 4.81 ERA. Springs is 5.64. Cannon on the road is an auto fade. That said, I don't have a lot of faith in Springs either. We saw the A's give up 2 runs last night in the top of the ninth and almost blow the game. So, today's spot, 54 degrees, mid humidity, high pressure, 6-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to left field, over under of 9. If I had any faith whatsoever in this White Sox offense, you just hit the 9. Sutter is a very, very scoreable field. So, best bet would be to lean over the 9, but no official play there. Game 2 of the Red Sox and the Guardians. It's going to be Walker Buehler going up against, I think it's going to be a guy making his major league debut. Can't remember what his name is. Let's see. Doug Nikazi. Now, I've also seen Logan Allen on there. Either way, it's going to be a lefty. So it's a lefty going up against the Red Sox. They've been kind of average against lefties. Nothing amazing. So I would lean Guardians in this one. Just fading Walker Buehler. I don't love him. That said, same thing. It's going to be cold. 46 degrees at game time. Wind's going to be blowing in from left. High humidity, high pressure. Runs are going to be down 15%. Home runs down 31%. I mean, this is a zigzag play. Whoever wins game 1, fade them in game 2. So that's the only way I would play that. Next one's Orioles and the Tigers. This one's going to be Charlie Morton going up against TBD. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Keter Montero, but we'll have to see. Pretty easy play for me in this one. Just take the over. We're taking the over 8.5, fading Charlie Morton, and if it's Keter Montero, I love to fade him too. So this is should be runs and runs and runs in that one. You could also do the zigzag effect if you want, but there's no way in hell if the Tigers win game 1, I'm backing Charlie Morton. So, yeah, just take the over and move on with life in that one. That is one of our official plays. Should be runs in that one. All right, Astros and the Royals. I think a ton of people were on the Astros yesterday. I did give out kind of the Royals, a strong lean towards the Royals. They just had a lot of lefty bats and ended up working out. Lugo pitched pretty well. 61 degrees today, mid humidity, high pressure, and we have a 9-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from right field. Now the advantage shifts towards the Astros. So home runs are going to be down 34%, runs down 3. We get an over-under of 8. I really want to take the under here in this one. That would kind of be my lean. So it's Astros or pass. That's kind of where I'm at in that game. Again, 2 offenses I still don't really trust a ton. All right, next game is going to be the Braves and the D-backs. We were on the over here yesterday. It hit. Braves scored 8. They almost covered that themselves. Grant Holmes going up against Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly having a decent year. If you look at the win-loss side, he's 3-1. Opponent average of 200, but an ERA of 4.73. Going up against Grant Holmes, who's been pretty good, 2-1, opponent average of 167, ERA of 3.22. 2 guys that don't give up a lot of home runs here. But yet they're both fly ball pitchers. It's going to be 79 degrees with very, very low humidity, but we're also getting low pressure. 16-mile-an-hour wind, basically going to be blowing from kind of left field to right field. Runs are going to be up 2%, home runs down 4%. Coin flippy game right here. I will tell you the pitch mix splits definitely favor the D-backs here. They hit pretty much everything he throws in terms of Grant Holmes really well. In terms of a bullpen advantage, 2 bullpens I don't trust whatsoever. But 9.5 is a little steep for an over-under here, so I can't really get on board with that, but lean towards the D-backs on the money line there. Rays and the Padres. My lean yesterday was towards the Rays, and we get a 1-0 game. Pretty wild. 59 degrees here, mid-pressure and humidity, and we got a 14-mile-an-hour wind basically blowing from left field to right field. Over-under of 7. Man, I really want to hammer this over 7. I don't love the pitch split mix for either pitchers. If we look at the fastball, Padres hit the fastball pretty well. Pepio is a fastball cutter guy, throws in a slider and decent amount of changeups. Might find some success with the changeups, but all in told, this Padres team doesn't strike out a ton. But I want to see this lineup at full strength before I back them. Dylan Cease is a wild card. He looks okay in his last start against the Astros. He's 1-1, giving up an opponent average of 286, got an ERA of 6. Pepio's got an ERA close to 5. Uh, God, I hate this game. Against righties, both of these pitchers are extremely vulnerable. Dylan Cease giving up an average of 365 to righties. Pepio 328. They're okay against lefties. But after last night, I just don't know if I can get down with an over. But over 7 would be my pick. You're getting value again to take the Rays. So I wouldn't mind going back to the well with the Rays. I just don't trust Pepio. So over 7 would be my best play in that one. Let's see. Pirates and the Dodgers. Wow. Ended up being 3-0. Dodgers offense is on life support right now. Bad series against the Rangers. Bad start against this Pirates series. But tip the cap to Skeens. He pitched fantastic, man. Today you've got Mitch Keller going up against Roki Sasaki. Sasaki's brought it around a little bit. I just don't know if I can put my faith in this guy, man. I don't like the way he pitches. Only has an opponent average of 186. Mitch Keller's 1-2 with an opponent average of 252. ERA of 4.18. Really struggling against lefties. Lefties are hitting 300 against him. Obviously, the Dodgers got a couple of lefties in that lineup that can bang the ball around. But he's done okay against righties, 154 average. Sasaki, 194 to lefties, 200 to righties. Giving up a little bit of a hard hit percentage. This is a system play for me. It's Mitch Keller on the road. But Dodgers at minus 270 is absolutely absurd. You're getting too much value to take the Pirates. So I'm not taking the Pirates. Maybe look at a Dodgers team total over 4.5. I mean, Mitch Keller on the road has been pretty tragic. So I do think the Dodgers bounce back in terms of the run. So Dodgers run line, team total over, or you just say screw it and think Sasaki pitches like shit and you take the Pirates. But not a game I'll be betting today. All right, Marlins and the Mariners. Wow, this game. Man, this was capped that Logan Gilbert was going to shut him down, which he did through 3 innings. Then he pulls something, comes out of the game. They stick in Hernandez, and the Marlins just went to town on him. Put up 6 on this guy. Crazy game. You could have got the Marlins at like plus 225, but didn't see an angle with Gilbert. So they got really, a little lucky that Gilbert went out of the game there. All right, tonight you got Gillespie going up against Castillo. Castillo at home's been really good. Gillespie's not been good anywhere. 6.75 ERA, 0-2, opponent average of 263. Castillo, though, giving up a batting average of 278 with a 4.44 ERA. 288 to lefties, 273 to righties. Gillespie, 231 to lefties, 304 to righties. Pretty damn big hard hit percentage. I will tell you, pitch mix does bode well for the Marlins in this one. Over under of 7.5. Best bet would just be to take the over. I think Marlins should be able to get to Castillo a little bit, and the Mariners should be able to hit up Gillespie. So I would lean towards the over of 7.5 in this game as my best bet. All right, so those are 17 games. Let's get into the best bets. Get you guys on your way. Appreciate you tuning into the channel. Let's have a bounce back day here. All right, Tigers game 1. So this is game 1. We're taking them on the money line. Brandon Young versus Casey Mize. Next play is going to be Clay Holmes over 4.5 Ks at minus 120 on ESPN Bet. Mets first 5 minus a half, minus 110 on BetMGM. And then in the Baltimore-Detroit game 2, Charlie Morton versus TBD, most likely Keeter Montero. We're just going to take the over 8.5 in that one. And then our last play is going to be Reds team total over 5.5. If you want to make this juicier, I don't recommend it. But you could take Hunter Green over 6Ks or 5Ks or something like that, or Ellie De La Cruz to get a hit, right? There are some options to kind of get that down from minus 130. This is how I'm playing it. You guys play it how you want. So those are the plays, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you in Sunday's video.